She was exhausted. Not just from the long day, but from years of chasing something she couldn't quite name. Every night, she would lie down in the dark and replay everything that had gone wrong, the bills, the relationships that faded, the dreams that seemed always just out of reach. She had tried vision boards. She had tried journaling. She had tried affirmations in the mirror, whispering them to herself like prayers she wasn't sure anyone was listening to. Then one evening, something shifted. She didn't do anything dramatic. She didn't book a flight to a retreat or spend hours reading self-help books. Instead, she simply changed what she said to herself in those quiet minutes before sleep. She repeated a few sentences, simple, honest, tender, and let herself feel them as she drifted off. Not forcing. Not straining. Just allowing. Within weeks, people began commenting that she seemed different. Lighter. A job offer came from someone she'd met unexpectedly. A health concern that had haunted her for months began to improve. Old friendships she thought were gone began to rekindle on their own. She hadn't changed her circumstances, not yet. What she had changed was the conversation happening inside her own mind right before the world went quiet. Louise Hay understood something most people overlook: the moments just before sleep are sacred. They are the most powerful minutes of your day. Whatever you plant in your mind at night, your subconscious tends and grows while your body rests. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is the quiet science of the sleeping mind, and tonight, you are going to learn exactly how to use it. Welcome. If you found this video, it's likely not by accident. There is something Louise Hay believed with every cell of her being: life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. Every thought you think, every word you speak, but most especially the words you whisper to yourself in the dark before sleep, sends a signal to the universe about who you believe you are and what you believe you deserve. Louise Hay spent decades teaching this. She survived a childhood marked by pain, abuse, and deep poverty. She was diagnosed with cancer at a time when most people would have surrendered entirely. And yet she healed. She rebuilt. She went on to write books that changed millions of lives, to build a publishing house that gave voice to healing teachers around the world, and to model, with her own body and spirit, what it means to truly love yourself back to life. Her message was never complicated. In fact, its simplicity is what made it so radical. She said, "Change your thoughts, and you change your life." Not someday. Not after the circumstances improve. Now. Tonight. In this video, you will walk through 7 powerful chapters drawn from Louise Hay's teachings. Each one will give you a specific understanding of why the bedtime hours are so important, what happens in your subconscious while you sleep, and which affirmations, which exact words, carry the energy to open you to blessings you cannot yet imagine. You don't need to believe this perfectly. You don't need to feel ready. Louise always said that willingness is enough. If you are willing to try, the universe has a way of meeting you exactly where you are. So tonight, before you close your eyes, before you let the day dissolve into rest, give yourself this gift. Stay with these words. Let them land somewhere deeper than the mind. Let them reach into the part of you that already knows you are worthy of a beautiful life. The universe has been waiting for you to remember that. Let's begin. Why would you say before sleep changes everything? Most people don't realize that the last 20 minutes before sleep are among the most influential of the entire day. During this window, your conscious mind begins to loosen its grip, and your subconscious becomes remarkably receptive, like soft soil ready to receive any seed you choose to plant. Louise Hay taught that the subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined or repeatedly affirmed. Whatever you rehearse in thought and feeling before sleep, your deeper mind accepts as a message about your current reality. When you spend those minutes rehearsing worry, rehearsing lack, rehearsing old wounds, you are essentially giving your subconscious its marching orders for the night. It spends the next 8 hours reinforcing those patterns, hardening them into beliefs that shape tomorrow. But when you choose differently, when you consciously plant seeds of love, gratitude, and expectation, the subconscious works for you while you sleep. It begins to reorganize your thinking, your emotional responses, and even the decisions you'll make the following day. Louise often described the mind as a garden. You are always the gardener. The only question is whether you are gardening consciously or by default. Most people garden by default, pulling in whatever weeds the day threw at them and laying down to sleep surrounded by them. Scientists who study sleep and neuroplasticity have discovered that the brain consolidates memory and reinforces neural pathways most aggressively during deep sleep stages. What you feed your mind right before entering those stages literally shapes the architecture of your thinking over time. This is why bedtime affirmations are not a casual practice. They are a targeted, intentional act of self-recreation. You are not just saying nice things, you are rewriting the internal story your nervous system tells about you. Louise Hay's own healing journey began largely in these quiet hours. She would lie down each night and gently, patiently repeat to herself, "I love you. I really love you." She said it until she believed it. And then she discovered that a world that reflected love back to her began to appear. The universe, she taught, always mirrors your dominant inner state. Change what dominates the inside, and the outside begins to shift, sometimes slowly, sometimes with breathtaking suddenness, but always inevitably. Tonight, you begin your garden. You begin in the dark, in the quiet, with nothing but your own voice and the willingness to believe that you deserve to bloom. How to let go before you rest. Before you can plant anything new, you must first clear the ground. Louise Hay always emphasized that releasing the day, truly letting it go, is the essential first step in any nighttime practice. You cannot receive abundance while clutching yesterday's complaints. Many people carry their entire day into bed with them. The argument from the morning, the email that stung, the mistake they can't stop replaying. These things pile onto the nervous system like stones, and the body, which needs rest to restore, spends the night carrying weight it was never meant to hold. Louise taught a simple but profound practice. Before sleep, mentally review your day, and for everything that caused pain or friction, say quietly within yourself, "I release you with love. You have taught me what you came to teach. I let you go." This is not about bypassing accountability. It is not about pretending that hard things didn't happen. It is about refusing to let the difficult moments of today become the defining soundtrack of tonight's rest and tomorrow's beginning. When you release with love, you honor even the hard experiences. You acknowledge them, you extract the lesson or the feeling, and then you consciously lay them down. Louise believed that every experience, even painful ones, arrives carrying a gift. Releasing with love means you've received the gift without being imprisoned by the wrapping. After releasing the difficult, she taught people to scan their day for 3 things to be genuinely grateful for. Not forced gratitude, not performative positivity, but real, specific moments of grace. A kind word from a stranger. A meal that tasted good. The simple miracle of breathing. Gratitude, Louise said, is the great multiplier. What you appreciate, appreciates. When you end your day acknowledging the good that was present, you signal to the universe that you are someone who notices goodness, and the universe tends to deliver more of what we notice. The practice of releasing and appreciating takes only a few minutes but does something remarkable. It creates emotional spaciousness. You arrive at the threshold of sleep feeling lighter, more open, less defended, and in that openness, affirmations can go deeper than they ever could through the armor of accumulated stress. Louise would often say, "Bless this day. All is well." Those 4 words, spoken from the heart, are a kind of spiritual completion. They signal that you are willing to close the chapter of today without resentment and open tomorrow with fresh expectation. Practice releasing the day for 7 nights, and notice what begins to change in the quality of your sleep, your mood upon waking, and the small synchronicities that begin to appear in your days. The universe notices when you show up willing to begin again. Words that carry the frequency of love. Louise Hay was a precise woman when it came to language. She understood that words are not neutral, they carry vibration, they carry history, they carry the emotional weight of every time they've been spoken and felt. The affirmations she recommended were not chosen randomly. Each one was crafted to reach specific places of constriction within the human heart. The most foundational affirmation she ever taught was also the simplest: I love and approve of myself. She returned to it endlessly in her writings and teachings because she knew that beneath almost every human struggle, financial, physical, relational, lies a deficit of self-love. To repeat I love and approve of myself before sleep is to go to war gently with every childhood voice that told you were too much, not enough, unworthy, unlovable. Your subconscious mind hears this affirmation and, over time, begins to choose it over the old narratives. Another affirmation Louise considered powerful for nighttime use was, all is well in my world. Everything is working out for my highest good. This one is specifically useful for those who fall asleep anxious about tomorrow. It reminds the deeper mind that life has a tendency to work, even when evidence feels scarce. For those struggling with money and abundance, she recommended, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Notice she didn't say I have money or money flows to me freely. She began with openness, with receptivity. The universe cannot fill a closed hand. For health and body, Louise taught, my body knows how to heal itself. I support it with love, rest, and trust. This affirmation is remarkable because it reminds you that your body is not your adversary. It is on your side, working constantly and intelligently on your behalf. For relationships, healing old ones, attracting new ones, deepening current ones, she often suggested, I deserve love and I receive it now from people who are kind and caring. Again, notice the structure. Deserving comes first. Receiving follows deserving. Before sleep, choose no more than 2 or 3 affirmations to work with. Don't flood yourself. Louise was always clear that depth matters more than volume. It is better to feel one affirmation fully than to race through 20 without genuinely landing in any of them. Say them slowly. Say them as if you are speaking to a beloved child, because in a way, you are. You are speaking to the younger versions of yourself who never heard these words enough. You are giving yourself now what you perhaps never received then, and if a part of you resists, if a voice says this isn't true or I don't believe this, that's normal. Louise said resistance is simply proof that the affirmation is touching something real. Keep going. The resistance softens. Truth has a way of outlasting doubt. The practice of letting go of how. One of the most liberating teachings in all of Louise Hay's work is this: your job is to be clear about what you want, not to control how it arrives. The universe has access to pathways, people, and possibilities that your conscious mind cannot foresee. Trusting it to surprise you is not passive, it is the highest form of co-creation. Most people exhaust themselves trying to manage the how. They map out exactly how the money should come, exactly how the relationship should begin, exactly which door should open. And in doing so, they inadvertently block every other door the universe is trying to swing open for them. Louise taught people to practice what she called divine right order, the understanding that everything is always unfolding exactly as it should, even when it looks chaotic from the outside. Sleeping in that trust is a radical act of faith. Before bed, after your affirmations, try adding this closing statement: I surrender the details to the universe. I trust that what is right for me is already on its way. This is not resignation. This is alignment. You are declaring yourself a willing partner rather than a controlling opponent. The universe, Louise believed, responds to this surrender with speed. When you stop gripping, things begin to move. When you stop demanding a specific route, you suddenly become available to arrive by a better one. That she would often tell the story of how she had prayed and affirmed for years to feel safe and provided for, but she had never imagined that a small book she wrote almost as an afterthought would become the vehicle. You Can Heal Your Life was not the how she planned. It was the universe's creative response to her sincere desire. Tonight, think of one thing you've been trying too hard to control. One outcome you've been white-knuckling, managing, and micromanaging. And before sleep, speak to it: I release my grip on how this unfolds. I trust the intelligence of life to bring me what is truly right for me. Notice the feeling in your body when you say that. If there is relief, even a flicker of it, that is your deeper self exhaling. That is the part of you that always knew you didn't have to carry everything alone. Louise had a phrase she loved: something wonderful is about to happen. She would say it often, not because she knew what it would be, but because she was training herself to live in a state of expectation rather than bracing. Expectation is an energetic invitation. The universe takes it seriously. As you fall asleep tonight, let your last conscious thought be a question of openness. What wonderful thing is the universe preparing for me? Don't answer it. Just hold it lightly, like a gift you haven't opened yet, and let yourself drift into rest with that sense of sweet, patient anticipation. Loving your physical self before sleep. Louise Hay was revolutionary in the way she spoke about the body. At a time when most healing philosophies treated the body as a problem to be fixed, Louise spoke of it as a partner to be loved. She believed that physical ailments were often the body's way of asking for a different kind of attention, the attention of love, not war. Before sleep is a particularly powerful time to extend conscious love to your body. After a full day of demanding things from it, energy, productivity, endurance, the body benefits enormously from being thanked rather than criticized. As you drift toward rest, Louise recommended a simple body scan before sleep, not looking for problems, but deliberately moving through your body with appreciation. Thank your feet for carrying you. Thank your lungs for breathing without being asked. Thank your heart for its relentless, faithful rhythm. For those dealing with specific health challenges, she suggested adding targeted affirmations. My body is wise and capable of healing. Every cell in my body vibrates with health and wholeness. She believed, and evidence from mind-body medicine increasingly supports, that the body responds to the language of love. The nervous system in particular is profoundly responsive to what you tell it before sleep. Chronic stress activates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, and when this remains active through the night, it disrupts the deep repair work that sleep is designed to facilitate. Choosing thoughts of safety, love, and appreciation before sleep activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, allowing the body to drop into deeper, more restorative sleep stages. This is not metaphysics. This is physiology. Louise understood it intuitively long before the science confirmed it. Point 1 affirmation specifically designed for the body's nighttime work is, while I sleep, my body heals and restores itself beautifully. I wake up feeling refreshed, renewed, and fully alive. This sets an intention that your subconscious carries forward through every sleep cycle. Louise also emphasized the importance of not using the final minutes before sleep to criticize your body. No inventorying of flaws in the mirror. No rehearsing the ways your body has disappointed you. The body hears everything you say about it and responds accordingly. Instead, try placing a hand on your heart before closing your eyes and saying, I love you. Thank you for carrying me through another day. Rest now. I've got you. This may feel strange at first. Do it anyway. The body will respond to this tenderness in ways you will feel in your sleep and in your waking. Your body is not your enemy. It never was. It has been trying, with everything it has, to support the life you are living. Tonight, let the last thing it hears from you be kindness. Let the last frequency it absorbs before rest be love. Clearing the path for prosperity to flow. Louise Hay was unambiguous. Prosperity is not just about money. It is a state of mind that includes health, loving relationships, creative expression, meaningful work, and deep inner peace. Abundance in any area begins with an inner willingness to receive, and that willingness must be cultivated deliberately, especially in a culture that constantly messages scarcity. Most people carry inherited beliefs about money and abundance that they have never consciously examined. Beliefs like money is hard to come by, wealthy people are selfish, I don't deserve more than I need, or wanting more is greedy. These beliefs live in the subconscious, operating silently and powerfully beneath every financial decision. The bedtime hours offer a unique opportunity to begin dissolving these inherited limitations. When the conscious mind is quieter, the subconscious is more accessible, and carefully chosen affirmations can begin to replace old programming with new, life-affirming beliefs. Louise recommended starting prosperity affirmations not with money itself, but with deservingness. The affirmation, "I deserve to live a full, abundant, and joy-filled life," addresses the root, not the symptom. Until you believe you deserve abundance, affirmations about money will bounce off the surface of your subconscious without penetrating. She also taught people to examine and release their resentment around money, particularly resentment toward those who had more. She said, "Every time you bless the abundance of others, you open the channel for more abundance to flow to you. Jealousy is a dam. Blessing is a river." An affirmation she returned to often was, "I am a magnet for miracles. Abundance flows to me freely, joyfully, and continuously." The word joyfully was deliberate. Louise believed that prosperity should feel like joy, not labor. If your relationship with money is characterized by strain and anxiety, that frequency is what you are transmitting and attracting. Before sleep, review any area of life where you feel scarcity, whether financial, emotional, or relational, and for each one, speak a specific counter-affirmation. Where you feel financial lack, there is always more than enough for me. Where you feel emotionally depleted, love surrounds me. I am nourished and supported. Louise also recommended the practice of mentally depositing abundance into your subconscious before sleep. Visualize your life as you wish it to be, not straining, just gently imagining. See yourself in circumstances of ease. Feel the feeling of financial freedom, even for 30 seconds. The subconscious responds to feeling, not only to words. One of the most underrated prosperity affirmations Louise taught was, "I trust in the process of life." This simple sentence addresses the core anxiety beneath most financial fear, the belief that life is fundamentally unsafe and untrustworthy. When you can genuinely begin to trust the process, the desperate grasping that repels abundance begins to soften. Tonight, and every night, close your eyes holding the knowledge that you are a child of this universe, and the universe does not create its children to starve. There is an abundance that belongs to you. Your work is not to force it into being, but to clear the inner path so it can find its way to you. Living forward from nighttime seeds. A bedtime practice is only complete when you understand what it is preparing you for. You are not just falling asleep, you are launching yourself into a new version of tomorrow. What you plant tonight, you will begin to reap in the morning, and in the days and weeks that follow, in ways you will often not be able to trace back to a single night. Louise Hay often described this as the momentum of love. Once you begin to consistently practice loving self-talk before sleep, something begins to build. Not dramatically at first, but steadily, quietly, the way rivers carve canyons not through force but through faithful, patient flow, you will begin to notice things. A chance meeting that opens a door you didn't know existed. A sudden idea that solves a problem you'd been stuck on for months. A call from someone you'd been missing. The return of a joy you thought you'd lost. These are not coincidences. They are the universe responding to your nighttime intentions. Louise taught that the universe works through inspired action, not frantic striving, but clear-eyed, often effortless movement in the right direction. After nights of sincere affirmation, you will wake with ideas. Follow them. They are part of the answer. They are the universe communicating through your own intuition. There will also be days when nothing obvious seems to be happening. Mornings when you wake and everything looks exactly as it did before. Louise's message for those days was clear: keep going. Under the surface, everything is always moving. The seed is in the ground. The roots are forming. Impatience cannot accelerate what is already in motion, it can only distract you from tending the garden. Part of living forward from nighttime seeds is developing the habit of noticing and celebrating small evidence of change. When something good happens, even something small, stop and acknowledge it. Say, "Thank you. This is the universe showing up for me." Acknowledgement accelerates momentum. What you celebrate tends to multiply. Louise also taught people to begin their mornings as intentionally as they ended their nights. Upon waking, Before checking phones, before reviewing the day's demands, she suggested a few minutes of quiet morning affirmations, essentially continuing the conversation you began the night before and welcoming a new day with the same energy of love and expectation that a morning affirmation she loved was, "Today is a wonderful day. I choose to make it so. Good things are flowing to me from expected and unexpected places." That last line, expected and unexpected, leaves room for the universe's creativity. It says, "I welcome what I can imagine, and I welcome what I cannot yet imagine." Over time, this practice does something remarkable. It changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone things happen to, and you begin to know yourself as someone who is in active, loving partnership with life. This identity shift is what Louise called the real miracle, not the external results, but the internal transformation that makes a new life not just possible, but inevitable. You are not the same person who stumbled into bed last night, rehearsing worries. You are the person who chose differently. Who planted something new in the quiet. Who trusted that the universe was listening. And it was. It always is. Louise Hay spent her life demonstrating one truth above all others: you are not stuck. No matter where you are, no matter what has happened, no matter how long the difficulty has lasted, you have the ability, right now, tonight, to begin speaking a new language to your subconscious mind. And that new language, repeated with sincerity and patience, changes everything. The affirmations you've heard today are not magic spells. They are seeds. And like all seeds, they require time, consistency, and a willingness to trust what you cannot yet see. The universe does not ask you to have certainty. It only asks you to have willingness, to show up each night and choose one true, loving thought over the noise of the day. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, remember what Louise always said: you are always in the process of becoming. You are becoming someone whose inner world is so aligned with love and abundance that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back. The surprises are already forming in the unseen places. The doors are already shifting on their hinges. The universe, as it always does, is already responding to the version of you that dared to believe, just a little more, in the quiet hours before rest. Close your eyes tonight knowing you are worthy of the life you long for. Whisper your affirmations gently, like a gift to yourself. And then surrender into sleep, trusting that something wonderful, something you cannot yet name or imagine, is already on its way to find you. Sleep well. You have planted something beautiful tonight. And the universe always delivers on its promises.